Welcome back, all you sports and gambling fans out there. Today we're doing some more NCAA basketball betting coverage. And joining me here, Dave Golikov. Now we're going to be looking at that Oklahoma State Cowboys game going up against the Oklahoma Sooners. All right, Dave, now as for the Cowboys, they really need to pick up their game if they want to have a shot at beating the Sooners. They lost their most recent game against West Virginia Mountaineers 81-72 and had only won one of their last 6 games, man. So, I mean, what do you think that they have to do if they want to have a shot against the Sooners in this spot?
Well, the Sooners do have a couple of weaknesses. You take a look at some of the stats. Oklahoma is next to last in the Big 12 in rebounding at just 49.7. It's a team that plays, they play a little disjointed sometimes. They try to play a little bit of one-on-one versus team basketball at times. They're 8th in the conference in assists with only 12.7 per game. Those things need to go in Oklahoma State's favor, as well as the Cowboys need to shoot lights out in this spot. They're 2nd in the conference in field goal percentage at 44.3%. They're going to need to shoot well in this game and play better, a little bit better defensively too, in terms of slowing down Oklahoma. But if they can get Oklahoma to play, one-on-one, disjointed, sort of cut off the basketball, prevent them from moving and sort of stagnate, I think Oklahoma State will have a shot here.
All right, man. Now, Oklahoma, on their side, they've been a little bit more consistent. I mean, they won their last game 75-73. It was close, and it was against the Kansas Jayhawks. They've also won 4 of their last 6 games. Now, I also think that it's important to mention that the last time that these two teams played this regular season, the Sooners won both of those games. The first one on January the 17th, 82-65, and the second one on January the 31st, where they actually beat them 64-56. So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the Sooners have the advantage in this spot. But, what else do you expect to see from them in this game, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I think that to me is a telling sign for the most part. We did a separate video talking about Georgetown Creighton. One of the key reasons we like Georgetown is because they won both regular season meetings. I mean, the same story could play out here as well. It just looks like when you watch these teams play that Oklahoma matches up really well against them. When you start breaking it down position by position, maybe Oklahoma State has the edge in 1 out of the 5 spots on the court. But other than that, the Sooners have the edge in the majority of all the positions. So I think that's a key. Yeah, you take a look at how the 2 regular season matchups went. I think that's key as well. And lastly, just take a look at how the teams are playing going into this. Oklahoma State, for whatever reason, has hit a wall. They didn't play that well in the conference, lost 5 of 6 overall. They lost at West Virginia's ranked team, Iowa State. It's a tough spot for Oklahoma to expect them to go. For Oklahoma State. I could probably keep mixing this up in this video. I should say Cowboys and Sooners instead. But I just think it's a tough spot. Oklahoma State's not playing particularly well, and they haven't played well against Oklahoma either. That makes it fairly challenging for them.
Yeah, no doubt. So I guess we can actually take advantage of this game in the case that the Sooners, they're being favored just by 3.5 points on the spread. And when they're coming in favored by 1 up to 7 points, they've gone 8-5 so far. So, I mean, why do you think that we should actually take the Cowboys if that's what you're leaning on in this spot, considering all that we've already said, and that they already did beat, the Sooners already did beat the Cowboys in the regular season first 2 matches that they played?
Well, I just feel like this is, again, to pull some points from the Georgetown Creighton video, if anybody watches that. I think some of the points we made there are a little bit more relevant here. Oklahoma, they're in pretty much for sure. Oklahoma State, maybe a little bit more on the bubble. So they need this game a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma isn't as jacked up for this game. I mean, they're playing for seeding. Oklahoma is playing for their lives. Oklahoma is playing for seeding. Oklahoma State could potentially be playing for their lives here. And I think in a rivalry game, I think it's tough to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So I think Oklahoma State keeps this thing close. You're not getting a ton of points here, but I do think that they keep it within that margin. Do they win the game? That could be a tricky one. I think it's going to be a close contest. Oklahoma has covered 6 straight versus Oklahoma State, but I think that streak ends today, and the Cowboys cover versus the Sooners. Man, I'm sure I've mixed this up like 100 times, but hopefully it's clear what I've been saying.
Yeah, no, I got it, man. And I'm not one that follows this that much. So if I understood, I bet that everyone else will as well, man. All right, good stuff, Dave. Hey, thanks a lot again for all the insights, the pick here. Pick it up tomorrow again. And everyone else, don't forget to check back with us tomorrow again for some more sports coverage and your free picks. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.